Record the cloud. Dope. All right. Well, welcome. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, my man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. When Nestor let me know that you guys were buddies, he was like, I can see if Orion would be down to come on and chat, and then be like, all right, cool. And then he messaged me, shortly before I messaged you. And it's like, hey, they're down. And so I was like, dope. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was over at Nestor's house. Yeah, a couple weekends ago, and then before that, we've been hanging out a lot, getting drunk. You know how it is.
Yeah. How far do you live from Nestor?
Oh man, probably like 25, 30 minutes. Not too bad.
So it's really funny. I met Nestor because of Mo, who is the other half of Coffee and Sugar. And I guess
Okay.
they went to high school together. And he was like, yeah, I have a friend named Nestor. He wants to bring us on to his Twitch stream and talk and listen to music and whatnot. I was like, that sounds pretty cool. So I
Damn
mean,
right.
it ended up being like a 2.5 hour, almost 3 hour conversation. It was super dope. I was like, Nestor's kind of the bro.
Nestor's the fucking man. I'm not gonna lie. He's cool like at all times. At all times.
Yeah. He and
He has
I
it. He's got it.
He'll throw the stream up on like Fridays and start jamming music, and I'll hop in every so often and just like throw him some links. We'll chat back and forth, and he just recently really kind of got into the photography stuff, and
Yeah.
so we've been talking a lot about that because I'm a concert photographer myself, and so
I've seen your stuff. It's awesome, man.
oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
good.
there's like a thing here with like a bunch of photo passes that I try to like kind of keep, like a
Of course.
memory of each one,
Of course.
so
Yeah.
that I can be like, damn, I did that.
Yeah, that's
So
fucking badass. Yeah,
yeah,
your
no,
stuff is great though. Checking it out, like man, this dude's good. I like it.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, if you guys come down to Dallas, and I tell everyone I bring on here, if you come down to Dallas, I will come out and take some photos of you. So keep me in
That's a
mind.
bet. That's a bet. Let's do that. That's a
Dope.
bet.
All right, cool. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Like how I like to do these is just super chill. I want to have a conversation with you and
Oh yeah,
get
we're
to know.
hanging, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so there. My chi is centered. I'm fucking just. I fucking threw up last night. Like it was bad. Listen, so I got up. Damn. Yesterday I got up and I just felt like this nauseousness, like right here, right here. And I was like, what's going on? So then we had plans to go out. Me and my lady, we had plans to go out to a buddy's house and like, get lit again. So I started feeling cold before I left. I'm like, this is not going to be good, but I ain't no bitch. So I'm just going to go. And literally, the second I started just having a beer, I just felt worse and worse and worse. I barely even had that much. I didn't go to the bathroom. It was downhill from there. And I woke up today and I'm just like, somewhat better, but I'm here, bro. Let's get
it. All right, cool. So I like to start it out just, obviously telling people who you are, who the band is, who makes up the band. And then we'll kind of go from there and just let it ride.
Of course, man. Is that the first question?
That's the first question, man. Tell us who you are. Tell us about the band, and let's go that route.
I am Orion Stephens, vocalist of In Dying Arms. We started in 2006. I created the band with a bunch of my homies back in high school, like way back in the day. And it's been shit, man. That's like what, 15, 16 years. So there's a lot we can go from there. There's a lot of shit. It's a long time, right? It's a long time.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
2006. I'm trying to think of what grade I was in, because I graduated high school in 2011. So shoot, man, like 8th grade for me, maybe.
How old are you now?
I'm 28. So
yeah, I'm 31. So you're not too far behind.
Yeah, I might have been like 7th grade. And what's funny about, because I thought you guys had been around for a little while, because when I was in middle school, beginning high school, probably high school, I was really into like As I Lay Dying, All That Remains, and some of those harder bands. And I think I remember at one point liking In Dying Arms Facebook page
Right.
a long time ago.
We're
And
old, man.
I swear, like you guys have always been in my feed.
Yeah.
And when Nestor was like, yeah, my friend's in Dying Arms, I was like, why does that sound so familiar? And
That's awesome.
I went back and I looked and I was following you guys on Facebook. So I must have liked you guys kind of in that time that
Yeah.
I was listening to As They Lie Dying and All That Remains and kind of those more harder metal
That's
bands.
kind of where we got our name from, because we loved Asley Dying in 2006, and now I'm like, God damn it, Asley Dying. Tim's trying to kill his wife and shit. Right.
Well, you know, what was funny is like every so often I'll be just scrolling through Facebook and I'll see a random post and it's like tag your favorite band and see if they respond. And it's every single time it's you guys I see. It's you guys, you know, so someone will tag In Dying Arms and you guys would reply back and I always see y'all's responses.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of how I've just kind of kept the connection between, you know, my music and seeing you guys continually pop up on my feed, which I mean, I think is kind of funny.
Cool, man. Yeah. And I try to reply to all of them because, like, why not, dude? Like,
yeah,
there's too many bands where they're not saying shit. Like, I know you're just at home not doing nothing. I know you see people are tagging you on this food. You can say what's up for like, you know, take 3 seconds. What's up? Just to make somebody's day. Like, why not?
Right. No, and that goes such a long way. People love that. And it's, you know, I get when you get to a point where you just have notifications out the ass and it's just like, it's so hard to respond to them, you know. It happens. I totally get it. But like when you can take those few seconds out of your day, be like, hey, someone just tagged us, like, let's go respond. They remember that shit, you know,
do.
And it makes them want to go back and listen to you because they appreciate that you did that.
Yeah. Really important. Really important. Bands, reply to your fans.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first time I think that ever happened to me. I think it was on like Instagram. Man, it was actually when I first started, you know, taking photos of bands when they would interact with the photos I take of them. And once people, you know, once they liked it or once they commented and said like badass or whatever, it's just, it makes you feel so good. Like you took the time to like look at my work. Right. I don't remember ever really kind of just throwing out comments and tagging bands until I really started shooting. But yeah, it's always a good feeling for the fan to see something like that.
Yeah, you're really killing it, man. I was checking your stuff out before the call. Because after you hit me up, I checked your stuff out. This dude's badass, and then I just started diving in. And yes, we're taking you up on that Texas thing. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so who makes up the band?
Currently, it's me on vocals. My guitarist Noah Williamson, my other guitarist Christian Becker, my bass player Keith Collip, my drummer Nate White, and the band broke up in 2017, and we came back in 2020 with a whole new lineup. Yeah, like it kind of happened during COVID, so it was just weird. But it gave us a lot of time to prepare, and we have a lot of new stuff coming out this year that we've been planning throughout this whole COVID season, because we're like, man, we should capitalize on this time to really fine tune a lot of stuff. You'll see when the stuff comes out, it's going to be big upgrade stuff.
Yeah, no,
video coming out too. I'm excited for it.
I went on an In Dying Arms deep dive today.
Oh, really?
Because I can't remember the last time I did actually listen to you guys. I say that with the most respect.
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah.
But you know, when Nestor had mentioned and we got this set up, I was like, you know, I have to deep dive. I gotta kind of get a feel, right? And I noticed that you guys hadn't put anything out until Death Wish in last year, but 2017 was before that. I was going to ask that question of like, what was that gap in time? And I guess it makes sense that when you guys said you guys broke up. So is it the original lineup or any of the original?
No, not in the slightest bit. Not in the slightest
okay.
bit. I'm the only original member.
Since 2006.
It's been me. I'm the only original member. I mean, since 2006, we've gone through a shit ton of members. Like, we were never a band to like keep a foundation because people, I don't know, man. People are people. Sometimes they like want to do something else, or sometimes it's our fault. We'd bring on people a little too soon, like back in the day, and then they had some baggage, and later on it caught up. So, oh man, this person has to go. Just stuff like that. So I don't think there really is an OG lineup. We've gone through so many people. You know what I mean? It's all good. And when we came back, we dropped a song called "Cold and Empty" in 2020. You gotta check it out if you haven't heard that. It's pretty badass.
Did I see that? Yeah, Cold and Empty. Yeah, I did. I did listen to that
on Spotify. Yeah, that was our comeback song. Then Death Wish, and then we have a bunch of shit coming out this year, which is where the shit actually happens. All the planning comes to fruition.
That's exciting. I interviewed a band called Boys of Fall last week, and those guys, they started in 2011, and they had that same thing. They went through people, and they ended up breaking up in I think they said 2014. I could be absolutely wrong, but they ended up getting back together in 2018 and ended up putting together some awesome music. So it's having the original lineup. You kind of have to find those people that see the vision, that see what's the purpose, why we're here, and what kind of music we want to make, right? And what I noticed when I was going through the songs, I started at number one and just kind of went down and let it do its thing. And just the difference between Death Wish and May I Have This Dance, right?
Oh yeah.
There you can hear. I heard the difference.
A huge difference.
But I'm someone that really appreciates clean vocals. So when in May I Have This Dance, the clean vocals came in, I was like, that went from super death metal to like some singing, and I'm all about that. It reminds me, I think the band that comes to mind for me that I felt like did a really good job of the contrasting singing and like heavy metal like screaming is Miss May I.
Oh, they're great. Yeah. I love Miss May I.
They're super hard, but then like the singing comes in and it works.
I like really how Miss May I, their band name is similar to May I Have This Dance.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Hell yeah.
So
I agree. They're fucking badass. So, we actually played with them in 2017 too, which is also crazy.
I have a question coming up here in a little bit that talks about touring and stuff. Because I'm sure since 2006, you have a ton of stories about touring. I'm sure.
I have too many stories. I have so many stories, man. Yes, we've done probably 17, 18 tours in this country, and it's all been awesome. Each tour has a bunch of stories. Each one, man. Like, there's probably stories no one's heard. I just haven't been asked the right questions. Let's go.
All right, then let's just do it. First tour ever. Who were the bands? Where did you guys go?
Okay, I don't know if this counts, but our very first tour ever was the most DIY tour you could do. After our first EP, we dropped it, and like 2009, it was like we were trying to just get in there a little more because we were like super local band for the first 2 or 3 years, just like playing bars, yada yada. And we dropped our first, real EP in 2009. Like we had to try to get in there. Let's do a tour and set up. We had no idea what the fuck we were doing. Like a 10-day tour. We had like a buddy band from around here hop on. They dropped like 2 weeks before, so it was just us out on a little like 10-day run. It was terrible. So I don't know if that counts. Like, I guess it does. But after that, we started getting on better tours. We started doing a little more stuff and like taking notes. Like, we can't go on tour like that again. That was fucking terrible. And then we got hooked up. We signed for management. We signed with Artery Foundation, if you remember them. And they put us up on a tour with Volumes back in the day. Volumes and Counterparts. This is 2011.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is a long time ago. Super long time ago.
I remember old Counterparts.
Hold on. I thought I heard a sound. Yeah, Counterparts. That was a really fun tour, and it really taught us a lot. Just like learning from other bands that have actually toured. So
Yeah.
from then on, it just kept going on. The tour after that, we did a tour with Fit for a King, For All I Am, and Onward to Olympus. And these are all these bands were small, like we were, and now a lot of them are like doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, Dr. Acula, it goes on. We did a lot of touring and then started climbing the ladder, touring with bigger and bigger bands. Went out with Attila, Crown the Empire. Damn, fun shit, man.
Well, I bet the tour with Attila was wild. Franz is a crazy
Yeah.
dude, man.
He's actually chill. He was actually we eventually signed with Artery Recordings in 2012, and we got flown out to do an album in Portland, where Franz was staying with our manager at his house because he lived over there. So he's like, "Hey, we gotta get you on this In Dying Arms album." So he like drove out to the studio we were at, and he's on that album. There's a song called "Bathed in the Salt." He's on the track. You can listen to it. Franz is on it. So we're there hanging with him. He's super chill. He's not even crazy. Like, he's super chill. We're just smoking some pot, hanging out. Then we did like a run with them after that. After that happened, super chill, man. Super chill.
You know, I say he's crazy, but you know, it just seems like he has a crazy life, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it's just that persona. He has a strong personality, and like, you know, he wants to portray himself a certain way, as you should as an artist. And I think that's great. But if you get to know him, I don't like know him. I've only hung out a few times, but he's very chill. He's like me and you, just hanging out. Like, what up, dude? Like, fucking nothing too wild. Nothing too wild.
That's cool.
People are thrown off by that. They're like, damn, that isn't he crazy? Like, he's chilling, man. You don't gotta be crazy all the time, right?
So what was your favorite tour that you had ever gone on that you're like, fuck, we did it kind of feeling?
I can't even pick one. I can't. I've had that moment on like a bunch of them, because like each one has their shining moments, but the ones that are the most memorable are the earlier ones. Like when you're coming up, those are the times where you have to really soak it in. The come up, you gotta appreciate the come up. All those tours I mentioned to you a second ago, all the ones to the recent ones, I can't. There's favorite moments on all of them, man. Like seeing fans in different places, the different types of shows. There's a lot of shit stands out on like all of them.
So starting in 2006 and obviously seeing the turnover of members and stuff, I mean, that's a long time. Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, 2006, I mean, 14 years from that is 2020. It's 2022 now. I mean, hell, like 16 years. That's wild.
Yeah.
What kept you going?
Fans, really. Because I mean, imagine playing music, and if there's always growth to some degree, you just want to keep going just to see how far you can take it and create that longevity, and like kind of, you know, just do some legend shit. Like, fuck it. Like, it's been 15 years. So during this time of COVID, we've been planning a lot of stuff, and we're trying to take it up way higher. You're gonna see. I can't wait to show you. I'll have to send you the video after we talk. We have a lot of stuff that's gonna boost how people see the band. Even from the songs you heard, the new shit coming out is ridiculous. I'm super amped. The visuals are great. The new promos are great. The videos, all the best one we put out yet. You name it. Like, we're like busting it out because we're older now. We have money. We don't have to, you know what I mean? And we're not bouncing in between tours trying to like budget a show. We got this coming out. We can only spend this. Like, we're really focused on strictly the content and the music, and not having these distractions from left and right. You know what I mean?
Dude, you said we're older. We have money. That's such a good point. You know, like, I'm 28. So like, you know, I've only been in my professional career for, I guess we can say like 7 years, but like realistically, I say professional, you know, I mean, I turned 21, like my senior year of college. And then really from like 22, 23 is where like my professional career started. And, you know, you kind of work your way up and whatnot, but it's like being older and having money to be able to do things that you want, like us starting Coffee and Sugar. Like, I've invested a ton of money into this, and it's all for a good reason, right? Like, you love what you do, like, why not invest in it? But that's a good point, because a lot of these younger bands don't necessarily have that. right? Where it's
Oh.
like when they sign, they're taking out a loan
Yes. Yeah.
to that they have to pay back.
Yes,
You know,
it's hard. It's hard to recoup that if you don't continue to push your band. A lot of people will get signed. You've probably seen it. Bands will come and go, drop just one album, then they're gone. They're gone.
mm-hmm.
It's like because they didn't play their cards right, or they're just like that's it. Like we did it, and then bills are still there, or your album
Yeah.
didn't sell. Your album didn't sell enough. You're not supporting it enough to recoup. They don't want to do another one. Like all that type of stuff. So. Which is probably why I've noticed the age of, remember back in the day, the age of like the high school or like early 20 bands is like kind of gone. Now it's more like the newer bands coming out that really kill it are big people like us who have done that, and they're coming out brand new bands, knowing all the shit that they've learned. I'm not seeing young 18-year-old dudes come out and like start killing off the jump. They don't have any money. You like need that now.
Yeah.
You need to have knowledge and experience and money now to really make waves. It was easier back in the MySpace days, but you kind of need to have some bread now and some know-how.
No, that's true. The know-how, know who. I mean, knowing people is huge in the music industry. You know, who's your management, how they can get you connected. It's a network, and you know, I plug my friends in Archetypes Collide all the time because I've watched them since 2014, just continually to progress and put out good music and you know, try to make some money off of streams and merch and stuff like that. And you know, they're killing it now, and it's just like that dedication of we're gonna do this because we want to do this, and we're only gonna put out our best work. And you know, sometimes I feel like people just put out things to put out things, and
there's that. There's a lot.
It doesn't go that far, you know, and you can feel defeated because people aren't gravitating towards it. And you know, but I look at bands like, let's use Spirit Box as an example. Okay.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Oh, bro, like Courtney's voice, like what they're doing, I feel like it's how do I put this? Like it's unique in a way because of the way that they're like marketing themselves and how she has this voice that you can't really figure out how it comes out of her, but it does, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very distinct. Yeah.
And you know, being with Rise and just having that big backing and just Spirit Box being who they are, they're killing it, right? And she came from I Wrestled a Bear Once, right? And I mean, I listened to them like a little bit, but then it's crazy how you can go from, you know, that didn't really work out to this, and it's just boom, right?
Yes. A lot of planning too, since she's married to their guitarist and all that stuff. So I can already imagine if I was in, they're probably like, all right, well, we're trying to do a new band. We're gonna, you know, trial and error. We did the shit before. Let's fucking really like go all the way in with these songs, like what we talked about a second ago. Because I can tell now, there's so much music out. There's songs coming out from bands. It sounds like they wrote it in one day. I'm like, my man. They're doing videos and shit. I'm like, yo, these riffs, I've heard them 1,000 times, man. But the Spirit Box has the right idea, the execution of the parts, like you can tell they spend time on it. And that's what I like, where you can just tell, like they care about this shit. Not some band just putting some shit out just cause. And then nothing happens and they're confused. It's like, what the fuck did you expect, man?
Right. You know, and it's a lot of, I see her a lot now. It's like, you know, independent artists that are doing well. They didn't just start out doing well. They came from a band that was super successful or some sort of project that was super successful, and they were able to go off and be independent. And it may have taken them a little bit to really gain traction, but if you're creating great shit and people are digging it, then of course that fan base is just going to continue to grow, the streams, the, you know, and all of that stuff. I talked about it with Voice of Fall, but you know, Johnny Frank from Attack, who, you know, went off and created the March Ahead, and Bill Murray, you know, he had he had the fan base of Attack. And then once people kind of caught on that he was doing this side project, it was like, this is interesting. This is something we ever heard of before. And look at him now. I mean, he's able to support himself 100%. on just streams. And it's the network of people and what you've done in the past that will help you be successful in the future, which I think you may be, attest to it, right? It's like you guys started in 2006 and here you are now, and you're still putting out fantastic music that I listened to today.
That's awesome. And it's getting better too. And people love to see growth too, which is another point. Like, man, why not just like keep flexing on them? Because even new fans who we, that we'll get from this new stuff, they're gonna go back and just appreciate, like, damn, they really came from these basement recordings in 2007 to now. Like that's awesome. Like, and then maybe they'll even like some of it. Who knows? Like, why not?
Right. And the bands that come out, and another example is, when Issues first hit the scene, what Tyler did and bringing on, Michael from Woe Is Me and them just basically, I feel like they created just their own genre of post-hardcore music with the very R&B-ish, but like heavy sounds, and then
it's still poppy and still heavy at the same time. They could do whatever they wanted to and it would work, right? And that's true. Yeah.
And then they skyrocketed because of it. They were doing something that people hadn't seen before it. And I think that Spirit Box, Issues, Bill Murray, like all these people we're already talking about, like they're doing things that are different that like are catching people's ears. And I feel like that is at the kind of foundation of it. If you don't have that, like the people won't. I mean, that ain't gonna help you if you're not creating good music that is invigorating.
I can't wait to show you this video, by the way, when we're done talking. You're gonna love it.
Do I get a sneak peek exclusive?
I'm giving you a sneak peek. I have the Dropbox link. It's actually, people watching it, they're not gonna care, but I'm gonna tell you. So we did the video a few months ago. We did it to our pre-pro of the track. Now it's done, and we're finalizing the audio. We're just gonna swap it. But the video that I'm gonna show you just has our pre-pro of it. It sounds pretty much exactly the same. It's awesome. Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Hell yeah, I will give you my my full review of it once I finish it.
That'll be sick.
So do you have a release date for that yet, or is that kind of hush hush right now?
Currently hush hush, but right now we're wrapping up some mixes for the finished version, get it mastered, and then launch. So probably maybe a month from now, something soon like that, something really soon. Yeah, that's literally what we're working on right now.
Nice. And I would like to assume it's like this is your best material yet, right?
Oh, it is. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm hyped to see your review.
Is it, from what you have right now that people can listen to on Spotify, would obviously you don't want to sound the same, right? This is going to be something that's invigorating and different in Dying Arms 2022, right?
Yeah.
Would you say it aligns with anything that you've already released, or is this going to be like hit you in the face like you're not expecting this?
A little bit of both. I think it takes all of the good stuff from the past and same from the new. Well, the stuff you're about to hear, it's got the crazy clean choruses, it's got the crazy vocals. The melody is wild. It's a very melodic track throughout, but we found that in between stage of being heavy and mixing the melodic, it's not like Death Wish where it's all heavy, and it's not like May I Have This Dance where it's kind of like we're trying to figure it out. Like we kind of figured it out, and I think you'll be able to notice that. Yeah. Nice.
And who did you guys go produce with, or is it all in house?
The video, we went to Ohio with a company called JECP, and they've done stuff for like Moss to Flames, a few of their videos, and Train the Martyrs, stuff like that. It looks great, and if you're in a band, check them out. JECP. Yeah, it looks HD. It's like the best video that we've done. As far as the song, we do all of that ourselves, and then we're sending it out to get mastered by somebody else. But that's kind of what we're doing right now. I actually have it up as we speak. Like I was
nice.
Yeah. Like I'm sitting here about to do it.
Nice. So Boys Will Fall, who I interviewed, they did everything in house too, and I just think that's so impressive. You know, it's a lot of people will, and don't get me wrong, like there's great producers out there, right? You know, some that come to mind for me that are old school that have done it all is, you know, Joey Sturgis, Cameron Mizell, and then I believe who is it? The guy from Danger Kids. I forget, his name is escaping me. He's a producer, but and then the guy that records A Day to Remember, like those are the guys that a lot of people try to go record with because of the people that they've worked with, right? But if you can do it all in house and just make it sound full and just in your face, like that's impressive. I don't know shit about mixing. I mean, I've tried, but there's so much to it, and
I'm super into it, man. Yeah,
every little thing, every little dial, every little plugin does something different, and figure out what you want to use and how to use it can really determine what the song's gonna sound like.
Now, so you're in a band now, and you're trying to do this in 2022. You got to have at least somebody in the band that knows how to do this stuff. Mainly for what you said, because everyone and their mama is trying to go and record with some of these bigger names, and there's more bands now than ever. Just imagine what their emails are looking like. It's flooded. They're probably missing out on bands they can work with that are good. They just don't. There's so many of them now, so you have to figure out a way to do something yourself. And luckily in my band now, all of my new dudes, all of them actually know how to record, which is great. So we're all like remote during COVID, sending files back and forth.
Nice.
Here's this, here's that. So it's like really easy. And we found people from out of state, because a lot of people here we've gone through and we tried out people and it wasn't really hitting the mark. So we found people that were in different bands in the past, in different states. We got a dude from Jersey, dude from New York, dude from Ohio. So we do all this shit remote. Then we'll like fly or meet up for, you know, the stuff that matters. But we're kind of working like that now. And it's way easier too, just like focusing on like cutting out the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're in a band, everyone lives together. It's too easy to be distracted. Like, let's just hang out and get drunk. Like, nah, whenever we meet up, we're like getting right to what needs to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up, though. Like, I feel like you're right. At least someone in the band needs to have some knowledge of recording and how to properly do it, right? You know, you can, you know, plug a XLR into an audio interface and hook it up to your guitar and hit record, but like that's at its simplest.
Like wobble fobble.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't. So, you know, my buddies in Archetypes Collide, they're going through the process of recording music with Nick Ingram up in Ohio, who works with I think Beartooth but I know that Caleb also does a lot of the mixing on his own too. But they're producing their music and hearing what they're able to achieve just there is phenomenal. I'm just like, dude, I'm so stoked for this new music. And anyways, yeah. So there's a bunch of great producers out there, but Kyle, who's the lead singer of this band, has like knowledge of recording and doing it very well. And so from that standpoint, they have that, right? I think you're right. Every band needs to have someone that knows kind of what they're doing, right?
Absolutely.
You can play an instrument, right? But if you don't know how to record it, then well.
Yeah, they really should try to figure that out, because I mean, it's definitely expensive now just to go to somebody to do it. You might as well learn it yourself.
Yeah,
save a shit ton of money, you know, save a lot of time trying to fly out somewhere, or like get your dudes together, or someone's fucking up. You can just track it for them yourself, right here. Boom, bam.
I don't think I asked this. So you're in Maryland, right? You're, like you said, like 30 minutes or so from. Have you always been in Maryland?
No, I've been here all my life.
Really?
Fucking over my house right now. What's going on? Something's going on with this fucking. I lost connection in my house. What the fuck?
Oh no.
I'm just gonna let that be. Sorry, ask your question again.
No, you're good. So I was just curious if you've been in Maryland this entire time, but
I've been here since I was born. Yeah.
how often did you make it down to Texas over the years?
Shit. I've been to Texas a lot actually. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, we've been to Texas a lot.
So
Like
there's
several times. Several times.
so there's like the three big metroplexes. It's like you got or big cities. You got Houston,
Yeah.
Austin, and then like Dallas, right? Of
Yeah.
those three, which was your favorite?
Um, Dallas is up there. Shit. Austin was cool. I keep seeing like on our Spotify numbers that we have a lot of Texas fans. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like always in like our top five, somewhere in Texas is up there. Um there were other areas that stood out too. I was drunk on these tours. It's all a blur, man. I just remember very fond moments down there. San Antonio was actually cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we always had a decent amount of fans down there, which is just wild to me because it's so fucking far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas is number two on y'all's listeners.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what?
It's funny because like I see Dallas. When I was talking with Boys of Fall, Dallas is like number two or number three on their list too, and I'm just like,
Dallas knows what's up.
exactly. It's what's cool is like it's major cities are always diverse, but we have a huge like hardcore and metal fan base in Dallas. It's just
Yeah.
it's really prevalent, and there's so many venues here that have metal shows and post hardcore shows come through,
Yeah.
and they're always it seems to me like they're always selling out. So everyone just needs to come down to Texas.
Back down there, you gotta take some photos of us, man.
Dude, I'm down. I am so down. I haven't shot a show since Unsilent Night. And I don't know if you heard about that, but it was a
I've
pretty
heard
big,
of it.
yeah, big festival that happened in December that's hosted by Third Stream Productions. And they're the big PR guys down here that put on a lot of the shows. And
I talked to Zemer forever ago.
yeah, Zemer. So Mike is getting ready to announce some more bands for So What Fest here soon. So What Fest is going to be massive, dude.
It is.
Huge.
It is. The fucking lineup is wild. Let's go.
And I remember going to So What Fest for the first time like 8 years ago, and then the first time I ever shot the show was in 2017. So like 5 or 6 years ago. So like I'm stoked to be able to be back, and it being back in Dallas, because they did it in Houston and stuff a few times, but hasn't really been in like Dallas proper.
Right.
So it's exciting.
Dude. This shit sounds hype.
Dude, there's so many, like the editing that's going to come after that show is going to be intense.
It's gonna be crazy. I'm just imagining that. I'm like, oh god, I can see it now. Fucking thousands of photos and shit.
Yeah, dude, no, but it's I mean the bands that he's bringing, like Chunk No Captain Chunk is literally, this is their only show in America is going to be So What Fest. Like the talent, the talent that they're pulling is crazy. But yeah, it's just something about Dallas. Like they have such a great metal, post-hardcore, hardcore fan base that you have to stop in Dallas. If you don't stop in Dallas, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, they're up.
Right. So speaking of stopping in Dallas, do you guys, with these announcements coming, are you guys thinking about what your next tour is going to look like?
Yeah. We were trying to push away from playing until the stuff was out, because we gotten offers for stuff the past couple of years since we announced we were coming back in 2020, but then literally COVID hit, and then we dropped because we had the cold empty track was ready, and then COVID hit, and we were like, let's just fucking drop it now because we don't know what's gonna happen, how long it's gonna be. Then it ended up being months, right? So we were like, yeah, let's just keep working on our shit. This video coming out, it was definitely the big one, so we're definitely gonna kind of start planning things out based off of like how well it does, you know what I mean? Because it's hard to it would suck to plan a tour and shoot for some things when if the video comes out and it does well, we could do something better, get more money, better guarantees. So we're kind of banking off of that, but we do plan on going out and supporting all the shit.
So with bands that are doing some good shit right now, are there any out there that you'd be like, I'd love to tour with them?
New bands? New bands coming out?
I mean, I say new bands, but just like, bands that are still killing it that you're like,
There's a dope band I found out a few months ago called Avoid that is kind of new. They're sick. It'd be dope to play with them. I just like them. They're fucking good. I've been jamming the fuck out of them. Check them out if you haven't. Avoid. Their shit's fire. You would love it.
Okay.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
You should. What's the song called? If you pull them up, tell me the songs that pop
up. Top is Flashbang. Looks like host age at a beach house party.
Play that one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Okay.
They're all good, but that's like the gateway track.
Okay. Cool.
It's a
I'll add it.
Yeah,
and
add that.
They are around the same genre as you guys?
Not really. They're
okay.
I guess they could fit. They're like, metalcore too, but they're like different, like kind of the bands that we're talking about. They're fresh. You'll see they're incorporating so many different styles. They got a little pop punk, they got a little deathcore, they got a little metalcore, they got a lot of clean vocals in there, a lot of fucking dope sections in there that just throw you for a fucking loop. Down tune guitar out of nowhere. It sounds like they just down tune a part just cause. We're gonna drop it like 5,000 more decibels on this bitch, and let's go. You're gonna love that shit.
Guess who's number 2 on their top listeners?
Don't say Dallas.
It's Dallas.
Oh shit, Dallas knows what's up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Dallas knows what's up. Yeah, that band's cool. Shit, that's a great question. I've been jamming a lot of stuff that's not in my genre. Because
as you should. That's an important thing to do.
Because a lot of the bands that are in the deathcore round, because we're not exactly just a deathcore band. We like to do a bunch of other stuff too, but just the deathcore bands, it's getting a little like, I've heard a bunch of the stuff before. A couple standouts are in there, of course, but there's so many of them, and I feel like they're doing that thing I talked about where they're doing a song real quick and putting it out. They all sound great. Everyone knows who to go to or some of the band record. Everyone sounds phenomenal. They sound great. But the songwriting is what's important nowadays. I feel like it's missing the mark here and there for certain bands, for sure. They just know if we sound pristine with the production, people are going to love it. Like, it's a little more than that, man.
That's a really good point, because I've talked about this a few times, is you can produce a banger song, right? Like the track, the music. And the thing is, me personally, I'm a music person. If I hear something and it's appealing to my ear, I will keep listening to it, regardless of what the lyrics are even saying. If the lyrics match well with the music, also, right? Like that needs to mesh well. But I have such a hard time listening and trying to focus on like what the lyrics are trying to say. And I from what I've heard, there's other people out there that are also like that, where it's like they're just music people, and that's what they focus on, and then like lyrics are kind of like secondary, right? But there's people that are like lyrics first. Like, I want to know that what I'm listening to is like something I believe in, or that I can appreciate, or that I like, and then like music second.
Right, I get that.
So I mean, as an artist yourself, a musician, a songwriter yourself, like where does your mind go first?
It definitely depends on the genre, because there are some genres where I won't care as much on the lyrics. Like for like some of the really heavy stuff, I'm just trying to like, it's the vibe. When you go to find like the heaviest shit, you just want to hear something aggressive as fuck. If that's there, I won't really care what they're saying initially. I'm sure it's very pissed, and that's great for me. And then maybe I'll care later. But if it's something like Issues or something like that, I'm gonna be paying attention to what they're saying automatically, because I can understand it, and I'm gonna gravitate towards that first. So it really just depends on the genre and what they're trying to convey.
That's a good point.
That's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Well, because when you listen to death metal, you don't know what they're saying right away. At least I don't.
Besides, I would just assume they're talking about something that they're pissed about, like they're about to fuck somebody up, and I'm down. Like that's great. Like I'm already with it. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm already with that. Like, that's awesome. That's kind of how I see it. But then there's bands that I do understand. And then the lyrics sucked, and I'm like, fuck, man, the music's great. What's this dude talking about?
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I would so I have a buddy who is kind of into like the kind of old school like emo punk rock. That's kind of just continue to gravitate and move forward. Some of the bands like think about like Hot Mulligan. Have you ever heard of them?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, a little
They're
bit.
like they're like punk emo, I guess. I don't know. It may be
Right.
wrong, but like
Like Good
I don't,
Charlotte or something?
um man, how about Brand New?
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
know who Brand New is? Okay, so very similar to like Brand New. And I have a buddy who's like very into that genre, and as am I. So he sent me a link to a song, and like the song name was in Russian. And I was like, oh, I guess it's just, someone did that. And I click on it and it brings up the Spotify and it starts playing the song. And all of the songs are in Russian. And I started listening to it and I'm like, this is all in Russian, but I really love the way it sounds. I don't care what they're saying,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
working. And I like went like that whole next day. I went on like a Russian emo punk like binge.
What was the
And
band?
Bird, hold on, I got you.
Yeah.
Bird Band, I think. It's gonna escape me.
It's gonna escape me. I'm gonna start using that lyric. It's gonna escape me.
Is this them? All right, this is gonna bug me. Give me just a second.
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
But yeah, my buddy Josh is like, he listens to very like interesting music, and he sent that to me. I was like, how the hell did you land on this? And he's like, dude, I listened to one song that was like had a Russian name, and it added it to like my Discover Weekly, and then all of a sudden he started adding these other Russian songs that were like punk emo. And I was like, okay, I can get down with that.
You have to
All
send
right.
me a link or something after this, man.
Yeah, no, but it was good. Here it is. Bird Bone. That's what it's called.
Bird Bone? I like that.
Bird space bone. And like I mean, I'm kidding. Like
that's an original name because who would call themselves Bird Bone? I like that.
It's not gonna focus for me. But yeah, it's all in Russian. And I'm like, this kind of jams. It's great background music. And again, I don't even care what they're saying. It's just my ear likes it, so I'm just gonna keep listening to it. That's just who I am. Kind of guy.
You like what you like, right? That's
exactly.
How it should be. That's what music's supposed to be, the art. And that's like that's cool as fuck.
When what's funny, I
wish I could show you the song right now. Damn.
You can send it to me after.
I will, totally.
Yeah. But there, some like my wife listens to very like indie music. That like doesn't always catch my ear, but like if there's a song that it doesn't matter the genre, I can listen to folk music, to country music, to whatever. But if it sounds good to me, I will listen to it. And sometimes like I'll hear something and I really like it in whatever genre, and I will listen to that over and over. Because like you get like a feeling listening to it that you're like, I want to keep feeling that.
You want that sensation, yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I listen to music. And I think that's part of the reason why we started Coffee and Sugar, and because Mo and I love music. I mean, everyone that we talk to about it, it's just all we want to do is just share music and find a way to grow something that makes it easier for you or John down the road to hear a new song that they will love, right? And that's kind of where my mind is. It's if I hear something I like it, I want someone else to hear it too. Kind of
100%. Yeah, I'm sharing Hermes songs all day long. I got Hermes texting me like new shit like every day almost. Like all my music friends, we're just swapping songs. I'm hearing new shit. Sometimes I like, sometimes I don't. But like and then I'll hear of a band. Then they'll drop something later that someone else likes and post on the news. So I heard this band before. Oh, this song is cool. So it's like it's cool to just get the shit circulating. Pass songs around to your friends, man, because that's how this shit keeps going, bro. It's hard to find new music now because there's so much of it. You don't know what to pay attention to sometimes. Like
Yeah.
damn, this motherfucker dropping songs every day, everywhere.
Exactly. And there's like you just said, there's so much music out there. And what we want to do is like everything that we share is all based off of my interest and Mo's interest. Like that's really it. It's like if you gravitate towards what we continually put out, we will be a stop for you when you're looking for new music because you like what we're listening to. Like that's what we want. It doesn't matter the genre either. It can be country, it can be punk, it can be, folk, it can be whatever it is. If we like it, we just hope you like it, kind of thing. That's
the
that's
vibe.
what we are trying to accomplish. And we're not doing anything that someone else hasn't done before, but no one has our interest in music, which keeps it unique to us,
110%. And that's a good mindset to have, because like you said, everyone does this type of stuff, but no one is you. No one has your taste. And someone else might have that taste that the other dude doing it might not be given. Like, so that's cool. Like, that's what you should be doing.
Right. Because like you said, there's just so much music out there, and it's like, how can you pay attention? Like, you get the alternative presses and the rock sounds of the world that are, but it's like,
it's all the same shit, man.
Yeah.
A lot of it's the same shit. Or like, I'll check out Rock Feed or whatever, and then like, bro, I already know who the fuck Slipknot is. You don't gotta make a whole new news post every week. Corey from Slipknot calling out MGK again. Like, nigga, he's been calling out MGK for a while now. We already know. You can stop. Like, let's talk about some new bands now.
And it's like, I mean, I love Spirit Box, but like literally Rock Sound and Alt Press continue to just, Spirit Box did this and Spirit Box is doing this and they're about to release that. And like, that's great. But like, what are you sharing with people that you haven't already talked about?
Exactly. They keep pushing the same thing. Once you say it a few times, and you've already said it, man, like everyone knows. You guys sprinkled in there, then like back to back Spirit Box or Slipknot, or like, these bands that are like, everyone knows they're killing it now. You gotta get it. Someone else is trying to eat too, man. There's a lot of good shit out there.
And I feel like I love, Alt Press just shared one of my photos on their Insta story, which I was like, that's super dope. Like, shout out to Alt Press. But I feel like sometimes it's almost like with their following, I mean, they're like 870,000 followers. It's like, you could do so much with that. You could take a band that, it's almost like having Spotify curators, but at Alt Press. It's like if they took that mindset and kind of incorporated some sort of idea at Alt Press, I feel like so many bands would have much more of a chance to make it somewhere and become someone's favorite band a lot quicker if they were more willing to like share artists that are doing some really cool shit. And that's kind of where we want to try to fill that void of like, I mean, we've been talking to a bunch of like, bands that are on the up, right? Not even like they haven't hit their stride yet, but they're doing some really cool shit and they're about to, and like, we want to help those people get to that point. We don't have the largest following, but we hope to one day that when we get to a point where it's like, yo, I heard this band, they're doing really cool stuff. Let's bring them onto the podcast. Let's give them the platform to talk about their shit. Right. Like,
that's awesome. I wish more bands, some bands know about this, but a lot of bands that are good, they miss a key point, and that is hiring a publicist to get on, Metal Injection or Metal Sucks or fucking, alternative press that think that they're good enough. It costs money to get an ad, but I mean, some bands should have a budget for that, because if you want to skip some steps and like get out there, you can do that. But that goes with the money factor again. You got to have some money to play with. You can't put all this time and effort into making songs and then put zero into marketing and just hit some homies and hit some promotion content. Like, nah, dude, you gotta like get a real campaign going so that people can know who the fuck you are.
Right. No, that's totally true, man. And you're right. There has to be something coming from like, there has to be that support, that there has to be that financial support. There has to be like, Alt Press can throw someone out there, but like, you got to be ready. I feel like sometimes you do kind of got to be ready for that, right? Like,
yes,
there's a lot that could come with that, right? But it's still not I feel like not a negative, right?
Yeah,
If
totally.
you know,
Getting
like
press,
there's a
getting press is
positive.
good. Press
Yeah.
is good. Press is good, but you should just go for it. These bands need to like shoot
Mm-hmm.
for that. Like they need to pay for it. If they're not getting it, they can still make that happen themselves. It just costs money. You have to find a publicist, and it's not cheap to do. But more bands should really focus on that because that's everything. You got to have the awareness up.
Yeah. Also, my my external camera decided it just wanted to
And that shit was fucking
go.
me up for a second. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. No, you're good. It decided it wanted to go away. So I was like, all right, well, I guess we're back to the webcam. But
It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, no, it's I like talking about the music industry because it's a hard world to navigate.
It's always changing.
Exactly. There's so many people that want to be in the music industry that, you know, may not have the network, that they may not have the financial, and maybe they do have the financial taken care of. Like that's great. But if you don't know the right people, then how are you gonna,
They're not putting it in the right place or whatever. It's like having the knowledge. You can have all the money in the world, if you don't know where to put it, you know, it doesn't matter, right?
Exactly. And there's another kind of side topic to being in the music industry, and it's being a good person.
Yeah, see me assholes out here getting canceled, bro.
Yes, you know, it's be a good person, and that I feel like sometimes that's so hard for people that are in the spotlight, right? Egos are the worst. There's no reason for it, because I mean, what do you have to gain? You know, maybe a few more followers, but that's doesn't help you in the long run.
It's literally pointless to make you look stupid, especially in today's day and age. There's so many good people in the scene. You gotta follow suit in that, man. Like, oh, there's so many dicks out here, bro. And there's entertainment. I'm just like, look at these motherfuckers, bro.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's
on bitches and shit.
It's unfortunate, but you know, the good people always, I feel like, thrive. You know, the music industry and the musicians and the artists and the bands and everything, you know, it's just one sector, right? You got all the people that put on the shows, like all the roadies and grips and, you know, hands and people that are the techs that are doing all that stuff. Like that's a whole nother community. You know, the media world, where I would say I fall into is photo, video, press, and all that's its own community. And you know, you have to be a good person in those communities, or people aren't going to want to work with you. People aren't going to want to continue to bring you out to do respect things. You know,
respect is important. Some people forget. You have to earn respect out here. No one's going to want to work with you after too long, bro.
Right. It goes a long way being a good person. That's the point to
be a good motherfucker, bro. Be nice.
Exactly.
Cool, don't pee on people.
Okay, you keep referencing that. I have no idea what that's from.
I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. All right.
If you know, you know out here. Because I'm not trying to start. I ain't trying to start no shit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a Google search a little bit later, but all right, cool. But yeah, man, no, I'm excited for you guys. I think, you know, I've been talking to multiple bands here recently that are like, we're about to put out some good shit. Like I interviewed a pop punk band last week that's going live in a week or so, called Goalkeeper. And they're like, man, we have some great work that some stuff we're really excited to put out. So like, I feel like I'm catching people on like a cusp, and you know, I get to watch like what they say kind of come to fruition, and then see the success that they have. So I'm super stoked for you guys that you guys have some cool shit coming, because I get to watch it happen and kind of feel like I'm part of that in a sense.
Yeah.
You know,
you are.
You know,
you're part of the band now. What up?
Hell yeah. You know, if we can do anything, right, you know, at the very, very least, jump on and have a conversation with us, and, you know, let's make some history together. And you know, Coffee and Sugar will take off, and Dying Arms will take off, and then we just get to support each other from afar, you know. And
yeah,
you know,
Gotta put some cream in that. Gotta put some cream in that coffee too. Let's go.
So fun fact, I like to tell people we bring on. So where the name Coffee and Sugar came from.
Yeah.
So my last name is Kaufman, Coffman. And when I was in college, I kind of just got this nickname Coffee. And I didn't drink coffee, but everyone thought I did. But I actually hated coffee. So coffee just stuck. And then, you know, it was years later, and I met Morgan because he was in the same fraternity as I was, but at, you know, school in Maryland, McDaniel College. And so I met him through that, and, you know, whatever. Fast forward like 2 more years, and he's like, hey man, I'm creating this music blog where I just want to share music each day and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, cool, man. Like, I had a similar idea where I was going to go on like Twitch and stream music and then talk about it and stuff like that. And then we just kind of got talking, like, let's just do it together. And so we started thinking about names, like, oh man, how, you know, what do we want to call this? And we like went through a couple, and then all of a sudden Coffee and Sugar happened.
Right.
Morgan's last name is Sugars.
Oh, okay.
So it was like,
that lines up.
Coffee and Sugar. It just, and then the H right after the S is what basically is the difference. And
I didn't even notice that hoodie, man.
Oh yeah, dude. It's our new merch.
I'm trying to get one. What?
Hey, I'll throw you the discount code, bro. I got you.
Yo, that's fucking dope. I fucks with that. I didn't even notice until you just pointed that out. I know what that said for a second. Oh shit.
I mean, you know, just another death metal logo, no big deal.
A little something on there, a little something.
Yeah, that's no, I've always had, I say I've always, but like I had this idea for a while of like, I want Coffee and Sugar to be a death metal logo. I don't know why, but
it works.
I want to see it happen. And you know, talked to a buddy of mine over in Germany who is a graphic designer, and I threw him an idea, and he just, here you go.
It looks dope. It definitely looks fucking dope. I mean, people love those logos too. I see them in pop culture now a little bit here and there. Just it could be like the most famous pop artists, they just have like a deathcore logo on something. I'm like, what? Okay. Cool.
It's I mean, I think you're right. And I think that kind of helped implant the idea in my head. And I was like, I just feel like it's so out of the blue that people would be like, that's kind of dope. And so we went with it, and it was cool. We launched the merch like, I don't know, February 21st. And I think within like 2 days we had like 20 orders, which I was like, that's a win for me kind of thing.
Good. Yo, I'm definitely going to get one. Coffee and Sugar. Oh shit. I'm getting it.
All right. So depending on how many people listen to this, I will say what the discount code is on the podcast. So if you hear it, you can use it, but it's going to come down to who listens to it. So for you, Orion, the discount code is Rocking15.
Rocking15.
Yeah.
Too easy.
So if
Rocking
we get
15, y'all, you heard it first. Coffee and Sugar.
So if we get a bunch,
off.
if we get an influx of orders with the Rocking15 discount code, I know why.
I mean, I'm gonna post this on my page when it comes out, man.
All right.
I'm posting it. So all y'all listening, you know what to do. Like, don't sleep.
Hell yeah.
Coffee and Sugar. Put the cream on the side. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
You have to have like a side podcast called Cream.
Dude, all right. So this really side note, a side tangent. So I was talking to my brother. All my music influence and taste and everything growing up, it always came from my brother. And he's about 3 years older than me. I think he's the same age as you, actually. And we were talking one day, and you know, Coffee and Sugar is all about promoting music and music that we like and are interested in. And out of the blue, he just goes, yo, idea. You create a satire side of Coffee and Sugar, and you call it Coffee and Boogers. And all you do is you share music that sucks. And I'm just like, dude, that may not go over well.
I don't think it would either. I think it'd be funny just cause it would be funny, but someone's gonna get mad.
Yo, absolutely. And the last thing I want is to Coffee and Sugar to get hit.
All these shitty bands, all the shitty bands, they be looking for stuff like people gonna talk about. They're all gonna see this and they're gonna hate you, and they're gonna like, fuck this guy talking shit on my band. And if you have like multiple bands on the first episode, you're getting shit on day one.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, I was like, I was like, I appreciate the idea, but I'm gonna say hard pass.
Yeah, you can do that, bro. You can do that.
Go for it, man. See how that. Let me know how it goes, kind of thing.
Yeah, you getting canceled. Look at this asshole.
Right. It's 2022.
Now. I think that'd be entertaining for me. I want to check out some shitty bands. Sometimes I like one. Sometimes I'm like, let me see how bad these motherfuckers are.
So I don't think this band is around anymore, and if they are, I apologize. But Design the Skyline. Do you remember them?
Yeah, we toured with them on that Dr. Acura tour.
You did? They had a song. They had a song out that, like, when I first heard it, I was like, this is a joke, right?
I know you're talking about. You're talking about that video that like blew up on Victory Records, and it was them like in the forest, and then fucking all that, right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it had like 10 million views or something like that. Yeah. So this is right after that they started touring, and I'm not gonna hate on them. Like, they're actually like cool dudes. Like, we were actually friends with them on tour. They were fun dudes. Yeah. But people were hating on them so bad. Like, they were opening the tour, right? They were the first band on the package, and there were people at every show who were there just to hate on them. As you would imagine. I felt so bad for them sometimes, but they were keeping it straight. They were rocking through. Definitely, they were cool dudes. A little weird sometimes. They had like this ritual thing they would do in their van. Like, one time they had all the lights off. Well, it was nighttime, and they had like this like dim light. I guess someone brought a dim light, and they had this track. It sounded like a ritual, and they're all in there mad quiet. And me and the dudes walked up, and we're looking, and they're like sitting there, fucking like channeling some shit. And we're like, what the fuck are they doing, man? And we didn't ask them about it, but it was happening. And I was like, yo, what is going on with these dudes, man? Let me stop. I love y'all, I love y'all. But that shit was weird.
So yeah, no, I just remember seeing that, and I was just like, man, it's like, they say bad press, there's no bad press, right? Like, bad PR is good PR kind of thing. Yeah. Did that, hopefully that didn't just completely destroy them, but like, did they keep making music after that? I didn't listen to them after, really.
Oh man, that was fucking it. After that, because since we toured them, I would keep up with them sometimes and like follow them. But after that initial album or whatever, I think they dropped maybe a couple singles after then, but no album, and then they just died off. They haven't dropped anything in years, bro. Yeah, I think that press ruined them. Like, it popped them off because it was bad, but then you can't come back when it gets 10 million views in like a week, and then like you're like the joke for the whole year. Like, you can't turn that around too easily. They're like, what? We're fucked. No matter what we put out, people are like, look at these motherfuckers, right? No matter what.
So me and some of my buddies, like 15 of us, did like a bracket for like post-hardcore bands, and there was like 40 or so bands on this bracket, and I'm not even kidding. Design the Skyline made it past like round 3. It's kind of wild.
What?
Yeah, but I don't think that I forgot who they were going up against, but they actually did decent. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that, but hey.
Me neither. Yeah, R.I.P. though. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
If y'all are jamming this, like, you should keep it going, man. Just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned something earlier that had a question pop in my head. So, over the years, I'm sure you've had multiple inspirations on what helps you kind of write music, and what kind of helps define In Dying Arms, maybe. And I wanted to ask, like, is there a band out there that you've just always looked at and it's just like, I love what they're doing, and I'd love to kind of follow in the footsteps, or maybe an artist or a person that kind of stands out for you?
It's probably a combination of a bunch of artists, not like sound wise, but like how a band can have that longevity and continue to evolve and like still be relevant. Like bands like Korn, Bring Me the Horizon, Papa Roach. I respect those bands. I don't like jam a bunch of like Papa Roach anymore, but the fact that they like one of the new songs was #1 on the rock charts recently, like it's fucking great track. Like their new shit's actually banging. And I was checking out their live video, like this band's been around for so long and they're still like killing it. And I had no idea. And I was like, that's fucking cool. So I've been on them for like maybe the past year or two, way more heavily. So I respect that. Definitely Bring Me. There's type of bands that like have that longevity factor and they have a way to still be fresh, opposed to bands who just stick to their niche their whole career and then they're going through waves or whatever, trying to figure it out. There's bands I think ahead. I definitely respect that. That's kind of like what I'm trying to do with this new era of IDA. Now that we're back, essentially, and we have a whole new lineup, that's kind of how we're looking at it now.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
you mentioned two bands, Bring Me the Horizon and Korn.
Love them. Yeah,
I just went on a deep dive of Korn. I started listening to Korn when I was way too young, but
damn, I have a Korn tattoo, bro.
Oh, no shit. Yes,
I got the Follow the Leader tattoo. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, that's amazing.
I got the fucking whole thing, man.
That is awesome. No, dude, I started listening to him probably in, I'm not even kidding, like 3rd grade.
I was like 8 or 9. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, my brother and I were huge Korn fans growing up, and I've just always appreciated their music. I didn't always listen to them, like, with like their new albums that came out in the last, like, I don't know, 10 years, but like, I mean, does those first 3 or 4 albums, bro? I mean, timeless.
The first like 6 albums, bro. Like
for sure.
They were killing it. Fucking Untouchables, their 5th album with Here to Stay, banger. Fucking, but yeah, after after their drummer left and they had the See You on the Other Side album, I still liked the album, but then it started getting like a little more experimental and stuff. They put out The Serenity of Suffering in 2016. That's a banger for me. Like yeah.
I just went through because I didn't really listen to Korn all that much after they started putting. You said Untouchables was their 5th album, so those first 5 albums were really the ones that I could jam straight through, kind of thing. And then thereafter is kind of sparing and didn't really listen all that much. But in like the last 10 years, there's albums and songs I had never heard before, and their new album just came out this past Friday. So I wanted to go on the deep dive to kind of lead up to the new album. And it's crazy how they, like you said, like bands can just have that longevity in the fan base that are like every single album, it's going to hit no matter what. Like, if Korn's coming out with a new album, then you are hype and ready for it. Bring Me the Horizon, more recent, right? Like, obviously they're not as old as Korn, but to go from, their first album to where they are now
is mind blowing.
And to make such a drastic change, it feels like, that's the spirit. That album, when that album came out, dude, I was like,
it's a huge album.
I went and saw him on that tour, and I had never liked Bring Me the Horizon more until that album came out. And
good album.
Don't get me wrong, I didn't not like them before, but I wasn't super into them. And then that Spirit came out, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize that like you guys would ever make this kind of music.
I know like that.
Yeah,
and they're killing it now. They're like, easily one of the biggest bands on the planet right
Mm-hmm.
now. I was checking out their
Yeah.
numbers. Damn, these motherfuckers have more numbers than like everybody. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're fucking, they're running it. They headline like everything. Like they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
damn,
they put out Die For You,
it's a good
and
track.
I don't know how many times I listened to that song.
It's
Like
catchy as fuck, right?
yeah, I mean, my wife would be in the car with me and she's like, "You're listening to this again?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." Dude, they're killing it. And Ollie just made it on was it Rolling Stones magazine? Is that what it was?
Crazy.
Yeah.
They're fucking big. But yeah, taking notes from those bands, that's kind of how I see shit now. Because before the band broke up, I wasn't looking at it that way, and it's hard to have people see it now because they haven't dropped the stuff. But once you see the video, like it's a little bit different in a sense. The songwriting is better, and we're taking notes for a bigger, more mainstream sound, like the IDA sound, but done to be more mainstream. So I think you're gonna fuck with that. I think you're gonna fuck with that.
That's dope. No, I'm
It's gonna be
excited to
awesome.
hear it. I'm excited to hear what you
I know people say this, but I don't know if you're ready, man. It's different, man. It's fucking different. It's different. I can't wait to hear what you think when I send it to you.
Hell yeah. No, I'm stoked, man. Man, I've really enjoyed this. This has been really dope.
Yeah, I feel like we're homies now.
Hell yeah. No, that's why I like to come out of these interviews feeling. It's like, hey, yo, I got another homie now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're my homie now. Fucking coffee and shit.
No, for sure, man. For sure. So I like to end these with 2 questions.
Yeah.
And the first one is, what do you want to tell everyone that's going to be listening? If what you can share, and obviously how people can find you and all of that stuff. Any sort of announcements that you got?
Yes. Shit. You know how to find us. Undying Arms. Look us up wherever you jam music and jam that shit. New shit coming out, as you've heard throughout this conversation. And like I told Coffee here, you're just not ready, bro. Get ready for that. It's gonna be hype. It's all about being hype now. 2022. I'm just trying to be hype. Do hype music, fun, energetic, and that's the vibe right there. We're doing rock and metal. Let's keep it on the edge. People forgot about that. Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. And then the last question is, how do you like your coffee?
Ooh. I drink coffee a lot. Usually I go for the iced coffee with the mocha up in the house, with the cream, the sugar, and the espresso shot to continue to be hype. That's usually my go-to right there. It's like the go-to coffee. Keep it going, nice and easy. I'm a simple dude,
Okay.
Mocha, you can't go wrong with the mocha, man. You can't fuck up a mocha. You probably could, but like you shouldn't.
So I am new to coffee. Really, in the last year, I started drinking coffee because I learned how to drink coffee. You don't have to drink it black. No. So I am a probably 75% coffee, 25% creamer with sugar and you got you got a nice blend of whatever, and there's sugar in it. We got 25% of that in the cup.
And then you're good. Yeah, I can't do black. Some people crack on you. You're not drinking coffee unless it's black. Like, you need to actually shut up because, have you tasted the cream and the sugar? Like, it just makes it better. Are you tripping?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think people are crazy who like just straight black coffee, but like you're kind of crazy because that tastes like shit. So
it doesn't taste good unless you're really just trying to like get all that coffee and just caffeine central, cool. But like, I'm trying to enjoy. I want it to taste good, not just be like, I don't know. Maybe when I'm older, I'll understand that because my granddad loves this black shit. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. Coffee is weird. It's like art. You can do whatever you want to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm hoping that my my coffee palate increases, and I branch out because there's so much kind of different kinds of ways you can do coffee, and I did partake in the pumpkin spice latte this year at
Yeah.
Starbucks, and that was fire. So
Yeah.
you know,
All of it's fire to me. Shit.
here's to
Yeah, I
branching
like
out.
all of it. All of it's good. Coffee and sugar, y'all. It's 2022.
Get hype.
Get the espresso shots. You better get real hype. This bitch.
Hell yeah, man.
You ain't playing games in here, man.
No, we are not.
How do you
Orion,
like your coffee? Like, what's your go-to? Like, what's your go-to like flavor in your coffee?
Well, okay, so funny story. My wife likes the whole bean. We grind the bean. It's like a Starbucks brand that we buy in the bag. And so we did that for a while. And I did an interview with a band called We Are Pigs. And the lead singer, her name's SJ. And I asked her this question, and she was just like, I like Folgers coffee and, a little bit of creamer, and that's about it. And I was like, Folgers, really? Like the big brand Folgers that everyone knows? And she's like, yep. And so I was like, okay, well, for you, SJ, because she told me I needed to try it. So I went and bought out a little thing of Folgers, and I let her say, all right, I got it. I will report back. And I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. It just wasn't that bad. And I was like, wow. And then we ended up finishing that little thing. And literally today, my wife comes home from grocery shopping and has a huge ass thing of Folgers. And I'm just like, all right, I guess we're a Folgers household now. So
converted.
And awesome. I sent a picture to SJ. I was like, look what you've done.
Look what you've done. That's awesome though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck you. So I don't think I've tried Folgers in a while. I'm gonna have to. Maybe I'll be converted.
Dude, it's just funny because I'm like, it doesn't taste really anything different from what we were drinking before. And it's like a fraction of the price. So I'm just like, yeah, all right, might as well.
No brainer right there. No brainer.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Well, Orion, I really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you, Cough Man.
This was good, and I'm excited to hear that track when you send it over, and I'll let you know. But
I'm sending it to you right now, bro.
Hell yeah, and I'm excited for everything that IDA is going to put out over the next month or so, and more announcements. And obviously, when you guys come down to Texas, you got to hit me up and let me know, and I'm gonna come out and snap some photos of you guys, and it's gonna be a damn good time. I'll buy you a drink, and we'll have a good time.
We'll have a live interview face to face.
There you go.
Ideas. I'll have some Folgers for you on standby.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, absolutely. I'm gonna let you get back to your day and work on that music that's sitting right in front of you. And I will keep you posted on release, promo, everything. Shoot me over a promo photo if you have one, and your logo and a ping or a vector file if you have it, and I'll get that over to you. All right.
Thank you very much, my man.
Absolutely, dude. You have a fantastic night, man.
See you, bro.
All right, man. Rock on, bro.